Tonight, mixed reactions after plans were revealed to downsize Port Augusta's quarantine site, and the multi-million-dollar health boost on the way for Broken Hill.
From our 7 Spencer Gulf studios, your nightly news with Madeline Kerr begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. First tonight, Port Augusta's contentious quarantine site on Press Road is being downsized as the community adapts to living with COVID-19. The scaling back a welcome sight for neighbours who have scrutinised the facility's placement since it was established.
Reduced need for a COVID-safe place. The Port Augusta community has been notified that operations at the local COVID-19 accommodation centre on Press Road will be downsized over the coming weeks. SA Health announcing that one of the temporary pod housing facilities within the centre is being decommissioned and removed.
I'm led to believe also some of the Humi huts have been relocated or taken away from there, so it's a good story going forward here at the moment.
The site was originally established in January to provide a safe quarantine and isolation location for those experiencing homelessness and displaced communities from Central Australia. SA Health now deciding to scale back the operation due to low occupancy numbers and the community's increased capability to manage COVID-19 cases safely.
Look, I've written to the Minister and outlined some of the concerns that have been raised to me by some of the community in Port Augusta, and obviously they've taken a bit of note of that, and from my information that the operation of the facility there is going to be reduced dramatically.
The location of the quarantine facility has been debated since it was constructed, with many locals on neighbouring properties keen for it to be removed.
We believe that this facility would be great, but we don't believe it would be great here.
The centre will continue to operate at the reduced capacity for the time being, with SA Health continuing to assess the need for the facility as the COVID situation in Port Augusta and the APY lands develops.
Certainly it's good news at the moment, but it will be there for a bit longer at this particular point for those people who cannot isolate at home or do not have a home to isolate at.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The New South Wales Government has today announced an upgrade to the Broken Hill Health Service Emergency Department, an enhanced mental health inpatient unit and also a new virtual intensive care unit. The $10 million investment is set to help those living in the Far West.
The Deputy Premier, along with the Minister for Regional Health and Mental Health, Bronnie Taylor, made the announcement today at Broken Hill Hospital. The money will improve the hospital's emergency department, which will complement the major upgrade of the mental health unit. Paul Toole saying the government is putting some much-needed focus on health in regional communities.
When you have a look at health right across regional and rural New South Wales, we've put the spotlight on health in our communities. We want to make sure that people are receiving those basic level of care and those services in regional communities.
Through the appointment, the Minister for Regional Health says she wants to improve the basic care in regional and remote areas, so patients don't have to travel further than necessary for the care they need.
And what we want to see happening is that people don't actually have to pack up. They don't have to leave town for those basic services being provided within the local community.
As part of the announcement today, Minister Taylor spoke about the collaboration between Far West Health and Sydney Local Health, and how the new virtual ICU will also benefit the community.
To be able to have intensive care specialists virtually available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week into this intensive care unit department is absolutely groundbreaking.
The virtual ICU will also benefit local healthcare professionals through added support with other professionals at Royal Prince Alfred Hospital. Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The Royal Flying Doctors Service is set to receive a $5.5 million boost from the New South Wales Government. The money from the Tourist Activation Fund will be spent to boost the visitor experience in Broken Hill. The Bruce Langford Visitor Centre will receive an upgrade of its amenities, making it more accessible for visitors. It will also help preserve the 86-year history of the organisation for future generations. Still to come tonight, a project of national importance in Whyalla, how local businesses can get involved, and fresh calls for better regional health and aged care services across the Spencer Gulf. Hello again, you're watching 7 Spencer Gulf News. The Whyalla City Council is encouraging local contractors to put their hand up to possibly be part of the major upgrade for the Coltana training facility. Mayor Claire McLaughlin says the project is of national importance, as Mark Zita explains.
The lead contractor for the refurbishment of the Australian Defence Force Coltana training range is hoping some local businesses can help out. Oricon has been selected as the main point of contact for the major redevelopment of the training grounds. They're requesting local businesses to submit a capacity and capability statement to their project team. In a statement, Whyalla Mayor Claire McLaughlin says the council has been advocating for local businesses to the Australian Defence Force so they can be given an opportunity to pitch for the works. While there are no guarantees, Mayor McLaughlin also says the project is of national significance with the opportunity to pick up serious work. Oricon is seeking information on whether local businesses can do a variety of works in civil construction, providing infrastructure and providing services to the major contractor. According to the company, the Coltana training area is the ADF's largest and can support combined arms exercises. They are currently undertaking the first stage of the project, which includes new training buildings, a camp area, operation areas and vehicle wash points. It will also see the construction of an underpass on the Lincoln Highway for defence vehicles to travel through without encountering civilian traffic. Stage 2 of the project will see a new combined arms range and additional training buildings at the Urban Operations Training Facility. More information about what local businesses need to submit to Oricon can be found on the council's website.
New South Wales Deputy Premier Paul Toole was in Broken Hill today, announcing the state government's plans to invest $600,000 to establish a mine waste reuse project. The project will investigate whether mine waste could contain valuable and critical minerals.
The Deputy Premier says industries like cobalt blue are the future.
Well, it's great to be here in Broken Hill and have a look at the cobalt blue processing facility.
Paul Toole was in Broken Hill today, joined by the Minister for Western New South Wales, Dougal Sanders, for the announcement of more than $500,000 to create the mine waste reuse project.
Now, when you have a look at critical minerals here in the state, the New South Wales government at the start of the year announced a critical minerals and high-tech strategy because this is going to be the industries of the future.
He said that through the strategy, the state government has identified 10 legacy mines across the state, which will be harvested of the remaining critical minerals such as cobalt and nickel, in turn helping position the state as a critical mineral supplier to the world.
We've got investment, already $600,000 to kickstart this process. We know this is just the beginning, but this is an exciting future here for regional New South Wales.
Dougal Sanders says the team at Cobalt Blue are an example of what future mining is like.
There is great need to move mining into future mining as opposed to what we think of as mining now. The critical mineral strategy that the state government has is key in that.
Though Cobalt Blue has a little while to go, Mr Saunders is already giving the company the thumbs up for its current process. He also says that the former mines will be given a new lease on life, that using them for the strategy will help rural and regional Australia grow.
They are forming part of our new critical mineral strategy into the future, which is really exciting for our regional towns and cities.
Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Calls for better regional health and aged care services are once again a concern for locals across the Spencer Gulf. From today, Senator Karen Grogan has started to hold forums to address some of the challenges people are facing within the health sector.
Aged care and health services once again under strain in the Spencer Gulf. Senator Karen Grogan addressing the ongoing issue by hosting get-togethers within the community.
Holding a series of aged care and health forums in Whyalla, Port Augusta and Port Pirie to get a sense of what people are experiencing on the ground.
According to the Labor Party, under the Morrison-Joyce government, the electorate of Grey has seen out-of-pocket costs for non-referral doctor visits rise, now reaching the highest in South Australia. The senator says it's due to a lack of support, forcing health workers to seek work outside of the regions.
Wages are so low, people are struggling to make ends meet working in that industry, and the kind of supports that they're experiencing just are not attractive. And so people are moving on.
Doctor shortages already an issue within regional parts of the state as numbers continue to worsen. Senator Grogan believes an increase in pay needs to be implemented to entice people to come and stay in the region.
We need to change this. We need to stop this crisis. And the only way to do that is to improve the care and also to improve the wages for the people working in that sector, so it becomes an appealing industry.
The health and aged care forums were held today in Whyalla and Port Augusta, with the Port Pirie Forum taking place tomorrow. Anyone is welcome to attend and share their concerns from 10:30 a.m. at the Port Football and Community Sport Club.
I'll give a bit of an outline of the things I know so far, and basically call on people to talk to us about their experiences.
Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. The concerning study finding an increase of microplastics in Spencer Gulf seafood. And we have a preview of what you can expect from this year's Salt Festival, kicking off in Port Lincoln this weekend. Welcome back. New South Wales Premier Dominic Perrottet and Minister for Health Brad Hazzard have today announced an update to COVID settings in the state. For those in Broken Hill, close contacts will no longer be required to isolate as long as they comply with the New South Wales health guidelines. The change will come into effect at 6 p.m. on Friday. There is no change to positive cases in the state. Those that test positive are still required to isolate for 7 days. For more information, check the New South Wales government website. While plastic rubbish piles up in dumps for as far as the eye can see, it's the invisible plastic in our ocean that local researchers are the most concerned about. The waste product being ingested by seafood that is then eaten by us, and it's alarming health experts.
A threat to the economy and our health, looming beneath the tide. A Flinders University research team has travelled to the Spencer Gulf to sample plastics and how they are entering our food chain.
A lot of larger chunks of plastic get thrown into the ocean and then they begin to degrade,
creating what is known as microplastics, a toxic material that researchers have found in alarming quantities.
It's pollution, essentially. So you can think of these, slightly toxic little bits of plastic finding their way into the food we eat.
The study finding an abundance of microplastics in both wild caught and ocean farm shellfish that when eaten by humans can cause severe inflammatory reactions when absorbed by the body. The microplastics problem may soon threaten our region's well-renowned seafood industry, with more plastic entering the ocean.
And, at what level does it get before you can eat it? That's still unknown.
The Flinders University research team sampled microplastic levels on 10 popular beaches across the state, including Coffin Bay, Point Lowly and the Whyalla foreshore. The areas chosen due to their importance in shipping, fishing and tourism industries.
Every single place we looked had approximately 8 pieces of microplastic per litre of water.
The university hoping the study can act as a wake-up call for the community and motivate more people to get involved in public beach cleanups. Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The much anticipated 2022 Salt Festival is finally here, hosting its official opening night this Friday. A range of local and international acts will take to the Southern Eyre Peninsula, bringing unique experiences for people of all ages to enjoy.
The 2022 Salt Festival is shaping up to be its biggest yet. Now in its 5th year, Salt Festival organisers have gone above and beyond to host world-class performances for the people of the Eyre Peninsula.
Absolutely, it's just going to be an incredible festival this time around. This is our 5th festival and it's just jam-packed full of amazing events.
Yeah, so Salt kicks off on Friday night with an opening here at the Nautilus Arts Centre in the Salt Shaker. So we've got the opening and then we roll straight into Gravity and Other Myths.
Friday night's launch will feature internationally acclaimed acrobatic act, Gravity and Other Myths, a contemporary circus troupe showcasing a high level of physical skills. But before they take to the Salt Shaker stage, people can walk through local artist Jack Davies' signature exhibition.
It's an exhibition of photographs of the coast, specifically dunes light and dark shade shapes.
Up-and-coming Australian singer-songwriter George Alice also taking to the Salt stage.
Being told where to go, who to be.
The Salt stage getting a new look, moving its venue from outdoors and into the Nautilus Arts Centre this year.
The Nautilus Arts Centre this year will be home to the Salt Stage and a lot of other festival events.
It's actually going to be in here, and we're going to do a lot of work on the space, and it's just going to be incredible. 5 stunning music acts as well.
Across the 10-day festival, Salt will host close to 100 events, making sure that there is something for everyone, and it isn't too late to get involved in all the action.
Best way to get involved is to head to the Salt Festival website, saltfestival.com.au, or pop in and see us at the Nautilus Arts Centre during the opening hours.
The festival runs from April 22nd until May 1st. Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. We'll have the latest with the fuel prices across the Spencer Gulf, and we'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back. There's more good news for drivers right across the Spencer Gulf, with unleaded petrol prices continuing to fall in many of our centres. With all the details, here's Mark Zita with this week's Fuel Watch.
Despite many drivers heading off for the Easter holidays, the average price of unleaded fuel continues to fall across many cities in the Spencer Gulf. As you can see, it's green arrows for average prices across our viewing area. Broken Hill selling the cheapest unleaded fuel at $1.72, falling close to 5 cents a litre in a week. While prices fell in Port Augusta, the city still has the most expensive fuel at $1.83. Whyalla and Kadina in the middle of the range, with average prices there sitting at $1.76. Average prices in Port Pirie just under $1.80. While if you're heading to Adelaide this weekend, despite the very slight increase in the average price, you'll still be getting a good deal with unleaded at $1.51. Unfortunately, the average price of diesel hasn't fallen as rapidly as unleaded, with many centres still seeing prices close to $2. Kadina, the only centre in our viewing region where diesel has fallen to below $1.90 per litre. Like with unleaded, Port Augusta is selling the most expensive diesel in our region. For those going to Adelaide, you'll only see a 10-cent difference in diesel prices compared to the Spencer Gulf. Finally, with LPG autogas, prices have fluctuated slightly in many areas of our viewing region. Broken Hill selling the cheapest autogas at just under $1.18. Prices have remained the same in Whyalla, while Port Augusta has seen a 3-cent increase in their average prices. Adelaide selling the cheapest LPG overall at $1.06. Remember, the prices indicated are the regional average and do not reflect one particular outlet. If you see fuel for cheaper, let us know through our Facebook page.
Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather with Alex Sykes. Alex, how's the lead up to the long weekend looking?
Good evening to you, Maddie. Well, a few showers were about today, but they aren't expected to stick around for the rest of this week and also into the weekend. We'll take a closer look at that in just a moment, but let's first have a glance at today's conditions. From 3 p.m, Port Augusta was partly cloudy and 22, Broken Hill was mostly sunny and 19, and Clare had a shower or two and was 16 degrees. Looking further out across the region now, Whyalla and Adelaide both had showers and reached 20. Port Lincoln was partly cloudy and 22. Woodner had a shower or two and was also 22 degrees. Showers also in Kadina and Cleve, both 21. Cooper Pedy was a partly cloudy 23. Taking a look at the satellite image now, low cloud pushing through southern South Australia in a trough, and onshore winds is bringing light showers to coastal areas. High cloud skimming over the rest of the state with another trough is not rain bearing, mostly clear in the northeast with high pressure. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. West to northwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas will be around a metre, and south to southwesterly swells 1 to 1.5 metres. Port Lincoln will be partly cloudy and 20 degrees tomorrow, possible morning shower in Cleve, with a top of 19 there. Woodna is set to reach 22. While it'll be partly cloudy in 21, Port Augusta will get to a max of 23 and Kadina will reach 22. Port Pirie will be partly cloudy in 23, Clare will reach 18 and Broken Hill will get to a high of 19 degrees. Taking a look further through the week now, partly cloudy conditions across the region again on Friday. Woodna and Kadina both to reach 21 degrees. Port Pirie will get to 23, Port Augusta 22, Cooper Pedy with a max of 25, Broken Hill to only reach 18, Whyalla and Adelaide both 20 degrees. A look at that all-important weekend forecast now. Not a lot of change on Saturday. Heating up a little in Broken Hill where it'll get to 23 degrees. Port Lincoln 19. Woodna, Kadina and Adelaide all 22. Port Pirie will get to a max of 24. To Sunday now, temperatures increasing into the mid to high 20s except in Port Lincoln, which will have a possible shower and get to 22 degrees. Similar conditions in Woodna and Kadina both to reach 27. Partly cloudy in Port Augusta and Port Pirie with 29. Whyalla and Broken Hill to reach 25, and Cooper Pedy will have a shower to also 25 degrees. So it's not looking too bad at all this week and into the weekend, Maddie. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. It's back to you.
Thanks for that, Alex. Hopefully looking all clear for Anzac Day on Monday. And that's the local news this Wednesday. I'm Madeline Kerr. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later on. Until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.